Exclamation everybody, and welcome to Symphony of War, the Nephilim Saga. It is by Dancing Dragon Games and published by Freedom Games. It's currently 20% off on Steam at $16 US, normally $20 US. It is a tactical turn-based RPG. Very similar, has some shades of Fire Emblem, I would say, potentially. It's I've played a little bit of it, and it looks to be pretty darn good. It's also, we're in the season of demos right now with the Steam Next Fest. This is actually fully released, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe they might have a demo of this too. But I did not. Possible I've misspoken there, but this was part of the summer game fest with videos and stuff. I believe they were shown in Guerrilla Collective, I believe. So that's how I learned of it, and then saw that it was already released. So figured I'd jump on and take a look at it. Like I said, I've played about, I'd say, half an hour, 45 minutes of it already. So I'm gonna start over from new and show you what's going on with it. And I'm gonna take the tutorials off just because I already know how to play. But supposed to say that they're there, and they're decent enough. And we'll play at Captain difficulty. There's like a story difficulty, and then there's permadeath. So this is kind of the normal difficulty here. So we'll begin and start. And let me go full screen here. And we'll get a timer on this. We'll say 30 minutes. Ah, there you are, Child of Destiny. You've arrived at a very opportune time, you will find. Let me look into your heart. Who are you? Will your journey be marked by virtue, or will this land's people remember you as an adversary? You were blessed with a child. If you could choose their fate, what would it be? We'll say famous musician. What is the most important trait a leader should have? It's an unshakable love for the people. Which personal flaw do you want to avoid most? Easily manipulated. What most leads to the downfall of great civilization? Intolerant. You must give up your most valuable possession. What is it? Say suit you. We'll pick the dude here and go with that. All right, and then here comes problem number one. You'll notice on here there's no backspace. Well, it turns out if you right-click that backspace. It took me forever to find that. I don't know why it's not more clear. Why they didn't just put a button here, but they didn't. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer. There is some lack of polish here and there, and we'll kind of get into some like quality of life things. This is one of those things I would qualify as a quality of life thing. Like, just put a button here. It's like backspace delete. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like you're going to give me a reason to, if you're going to give me a way to put my name in there, it should be very clear how to clear out the auto-generate name. You know what I mean? Like, that just seems like a no-brainer, but it seems like they kind of forgot that. And there's a lot of these little things that they sort of seem to have forgotten along the way. So we'll do that. And we'll see. Yes. Thank you. What an intriguing soul. Go, and I will see you here again when the time is right. Should be noted that a couple of those questions were different in the beginning than the first time I played this, so that's interesting. There must be a random smattering of things that they give you. Armitage, year 972, capital city, Empire of Viridian. The art is actually pretty good in this. Obviously, it's pixel art, but it's good pixel art. You know, it's not squint your eyes kind of pixel art. It's actually very well done. By the gods, the child survived. And the father? Perished, fighting for the nobles, just like most of the young in this town. The mother prepared names for this. This one shall be called Mim. He is so beautiful. May he live to see a better world. "25 years passed." Getting a late startle. Here's our world map. Tanra, year 997. The world of Tanra. The 997th year of our age, 3 realms rule the land. The desert kingdom of Sayuna, whose wealth earned it the title of Kingdom of Gold. Technologically advanced Free Republic of Stendraka. And the hegemonic Empire of Viridia, the world's military and economic superpower, where our story begins. 1 generation ago, multiple bids for the Viridian Imperial throne plunged the land into war. This is known as the War of Viridian Secession. The long and bloody war ended with the coronation of Empress Florina. However, it left deep scars in the people's heart, as resentment against the excesses of the ruling class rose to the boiling point. Okay, this is where... Here's another quality of life thing here. It's really... I don't know if this was just maybe a lack of understanding of how the engine works that they're using or whatnot, but there are occasions like this where they'll just keep tagging on to the same dialogue box over and over and over again. And when you have this much text and it's this big, you very easy to lose your place in where you were speaking, right? Lose your place in it. Excuse me. And that can lead to, just like a little bit of extra frustration. Like I'm less inclined to read all of this because I'm losing my place very easily. It really should have been close this dialogue box, open another one. Close the dialogue, open another one. You know what I mean? Whether there was 1 sentence in there or 10 sentences in there, it's best to keep that cadence, because you have it in some places, and other places you don't, and it just it gets frustrating because you don't know which one you're going to encounter until it's too late and now you've lost your place. Yeah. Common people who had lost so much were forced to endure increasing hardships as the empire sought to rebuild. 25 years after the end of the Secession War, a man named Antares, a battle-worn general, kidnapped the Empress and formed his own army in an act of open rebellion. He now controls a territory of the forest known as the Eastwall District. Driven by what he believes to be undue hardships by the central government, Antares threatens to sack the imperial capital if his demands are not met. The ambitious Prime Minister Casimir has called the general's bluff and has decided to take military action. He orders a force sent to Antares' stronghold at Eastwall Fortress. Hope you're taking notes, because there's going to be a test at the end of this. 2 young and promising Imperial Army officers, Mem and his long friend Zelos, have prepared to meet General Antares in battle. Little could they know how much their adventure would change the course of history. So, joking aside, too many names at once. Right? Like, that map could have been just, here's the enemy. Like, there was no reason, like, first of all, we didn't need to know about the other territories, right? Like, it was nice to know, but it wasn't necessary for the beginning of the story. It might be necessary for later on, but not now, right? Second of all, you've got your antagonist and your protagonist, right? That's what they really should have stuck with. Here's your protagonist, here's your antagonist. You could have brought the Empress into it too, sure, fine, that's fine. But really, you just need to introduce those two. You didn't need to introduce them and, your characters and all that stuff. Like, right now, you're going to get introduced to your character, right? You're getting introduced to Zelos right now. So, you didn't need that preamble, right? So, all I'm saying is, like, there's a pacing thing here where it's like, you throw too much at people too quickly, they're not going to process it, right? So, just, like, keep it to a still a bare minimum until you don't need it to be a bare minimum. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, that's kind of one of the downfalls of this game so far, is that I'm not particularly fond of like visual novels and stuff, but this game does have these sort of rambling dialogue things that visual novels have. You know, instead of like saying something simply and getting to the point, there's all kinds of like, let's take this journey together until we eventually get to the point of the conversation. And that is throughout the game. And it's unfortunate that that's the only way the game is conveying the story, because it makes me, in particular, someone who doesn't really particularly like visual novels, want to skip through all the stuff and essentially not really get into the lore of the story. Even though it looks like there's some good lore here, it's just really difficult to get through. You know, that there's a lot of nonsense between you and that lore and those delicious lore nuggets, you know? All right, let us raise a glass to my friend. So all that said, there's going to be some instances where I'm just going to skip through dialogue because it's just completely useless. So, bet you all thought he wouldn't make it this far, now ready to lead his first squad into battle, but I knew better. Not in the celebrating mood? There's a lot on the line. The Emperor's life is in our hands. I'm not worried. Yeah, these guys can keep up with it. It helps having a one-man army in our midst. Now, I'm just a man. We've got the gods on our side. I'm going to trust in my soldiers, not some idea. Don't tell me you believe in those fairy tales now. Underestimate the power of ideas. Look at how this empire is starting to forget the ideas that built it. With a proper leader, people would again feel a part of something. There would be no generals going rogue. Aren't you a bit early, Scout? Saw Antari's men celebrating in the outlying villages. The rebels have begun raiding the locals. General Antari's has stooped to this? How far has he fallen since the secession war? Send word to the capital. Maybe they could send us a real army. I heard that, right? I did. Zealous, I know what you're thinking. How do you plan on explaining this to higher ups? Don't worry about them. You, me, and just our troops. Once we take down this rebellion, we'll be celebrities. What state? Okay, Zealous, I'm with you. I'm calling the shots this time. Fine by me. I've got your back. Chapter 1, Rebellion. Here's where we kind of come into this. What a kind of Fire Emblem-ish stuff. We'll see in a minute. Good. Looks like they haven't sent much out yet. Alright. Okay. So. One of the things here. Let's go. So we got our 2 units. We got all these enemies here. If I right click and say mission info, they got, here's our victory or defeat. Challenge missions: attack from a hill using Jules' squad. These all map objectives. 0-4 target. Try to get it done in 11 turns. Target objectives captured 5 and squads neutralized 4. So it's good to look at these because the game does not otherwise tell you what's going on. It doesn't come out and say like, here's your objectives. It just sort of assumes you're going to look at them in there, because there's a lot of like secondary objectives, like, hey, do this in 11 turns kind of thing, that they don't actually tell you about. Now, you won't be defeated. It's not like a defeat if you don't get it done in 11 turns. Instead, it's just you don't get as much extra points at the end of the campaign if you don't do all the objectives, the side objectives and stuff. Anyway, one thing that I noticed it didn't say, which is a little bit of a pain, but there is there's a hidden objective here, which is don't have Zealous do anything for you. Basically use your own force to do everything. Don't have Zealous attack anything, which is weird. It fits with the story, but at the same time, the fact that it's a hidden objective is a little bit of an annoyance because you don't actually know about it until the very end when you failed it. So, yeah, that's a thing. Anyway,
Ready.
Move down here and we will attack these fools. You can see what our threat is, 2278 to 903, and our morale of both of our troops. And also, it's an auto battle. So I've got it set. I've got the speed set up a little bit higher. That's why it's going so fast. But at normal speed, you'd be able to process what was going on there. Yeah, it's just for some reason, this is kind of a weird thing. They've put the emphasis away from the combat somewhat and onto the story, the visual novel stuff, which is a different way of doing it. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that way of doing it, but it's certainly different. You know, it's something to keep in mind if you're looking at this. If you're looking to like really micromanage your troops, you don't. You micromanage your horses, you micromanage like their equipment and stuff, but when it comes to the battle, it's, you know, the computer resolves it. Also, for some reason, for archers and long range attacks, you don't get quite as many turns, it doesn't look like. And it doesn't really explain that anywhere. Like, you get one turn from long range and then that's it. And it's kind of something you find out from doing. Which is a bit, again, like I said, a bit strange. But anyway, we'll end our turn. Yeah, Crusader's Mace. Oh, that might be the first time I've actually gotten an item from something here. Can I don't think I can do anything with it. Yeah, I don't think you can do anything with the items. So this allows you to select your squads and see them easily. You can't do anything with items until you're done the battle.
For Viridia.
Come up here and we'll seize this. It gives us leadership, it gives us faction XP, and it gives us some gold. Imperial army has already arrived, much sooner than I expected. Wolfgar, I'm trusting you to lead our troops here. Hold the river fortress, we should be safe here. Make them regret coming here, don't worry, General. Looks like we made it just in time. Are you ready for this, Sybil? Are you kidding, Jules? Been waiting ages for a chance to prove my mettle. Come and get it, rebel scum. The squad has tougher soldiers, so I should stay in front. Mine will provide long-range archer attacks from a safe distance. Over there, to the east. I think that's Jules, a fellow Imperial Academy cadet of mine. We'll meet up with them and join all our forces together. Okay. Let's have you go onto that hill. Because attacking from hills does give you advantage. Here. Like I say, you only get one round.
I'm just getting started.
That's the kind of the weird thing of it, but I guess it makes sense because the other troops really can't. I mean, they can attack you back if they have range, but they really can't. Oh. Okay, and
For my people, for my homeland.
Move here, and then we could heal, but I don't think anyone really that hurt. Yeah, I can heal our... There. Okay. If I move you...
We will always find a way.
Over here. Yeah, I can't... What's nice about this is you can undo things, but the problem is we're not really in range. there.
Stay strong, everyone.
Guess we can go here. Back. Some damage to them.
Here comes Sybil.
Come
Ready
over
or not.
and attack the rest of the way. Whip. Right, put them down.
I must stay strong.
We should have this one well in hand.
Direct my blade.
Kind of could shuffle here. Though I know that by shuffling, these guys are going to attack him. But that also means that he's going to end up beating him, which is not going to make me lose the optional thing, but I don't really care at this point.
Time to end this.
And once more. Ooh, we took him out. Nice. Nice.
They'll notice this one for sure.
Here. And heal yourselves. Yeah.
Here goes nothing.
Here. Wait.
The battle lies before me.
Tomas, you're with the Imperial Army? Name's Sybil, battle maiden of Viridia. Jules and I were set up the river to try it out flank the rebels. It's an impressive title, but you wear the garb of a temple priestess. Yeah, so what? Healing's just as important as hurting, isn't it? Of course. Fortunate to have a priestess among us. Healing. That. Now they are inside of a little fort here. Hard to see, but they're in there, so they're like protected. They have extra protection, I should say. But doesn't mean we can't
Your command?
go and wreck their faces. Got iron here, +3. Iron and stuff is used for upgrading your equipment and things. We'll see the upgrade in the technology tree a little bit later. But yeah, it's basically used for that.
How can I help, my
You
lord?
will come up to here. Have a little dialogue. Just can't help crossing paths, Jules. Looks like we're in this together, huh? What an honor to fight by your side on our first mission, but Central Command didn't say you'd be here. Was some sort of mistake? He decided to improvise. Anyway, glad to have your rangers here among us. Clever planning, your troops can pick off enemies without fear of a counterattack, unless they have their own archers, of course. You're leading this mission? Wow, I always knew you'd do great things. Well, come on, Jules. You'd say that no matter what I end up doing. Right there.
The time to act is
Up
now.
here. And attack these guys. Oh,
I'm just getting started.
come up here. And, wait. Okay. We've really got him on the run now. The river fortress is ours. Time to take down the local rebel commander at Eastwall. Damned Imperial dogs, are they really this ruthless? The rest of you, get out there and stop them. Cause will not be snuffed out here. Like we've got another fight on our hands. And we're counting on you as the army leader to destroy the enemy. Hopefully their leaders will get the message and lay down their weapon.
always find a way.
Here. Wait.
For Viridia.
Move you over to start taking on that. Thing there.
Direct my blade.
Go.
Here comes Sybil, ready or not.
Up here on the hillside.
Ready.
And we'll be a little defensive here and do right there. And heal up the healer. Sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I figures they would go up with my archers. Kind of a given.
They'll notice this one for sure.
Alright.
For my people. For my homeland.
Okay, we'll build up there.
Here goes nothing.
Over here. There we go. Go.
I'm just getting started.
Excellent. There,
I
there,
must stay strong.
there.
Your command?
Here and that. Whoops. We kind of take our time a little bit here, although turn are we on? Turn 9.
The battle lies before me.
Here comes Sybil, ready or not.
Interesting. There we go. That actually worked out pretty well.
For Viridia.
Oops, alright. And there we go.
They'll notice this one for sure.
The time to act is now.
I had a feeling he wouldn't make it there in time.
I'm just getting started.
There we go. Did it in 10 turns. And we got all the objectives. There we go. Rank guest. Did 2 of them surrender? Okay. So we got a bounty for them because they surrendered. That was due to morale losses. Okay. And we did in 10 turns. So yeah, that's rank. Cool. I mean, all things considered, that the first tutorial mission, so of course it'd be a little bit easier. Inner Keep, Eastwall Fortress. The Imperial Army has certainly wasted no time. We've got to escape to Centurion's Rest. You think I will just willingly go with you? You will. We both know that the snakes in the capital cannot be trusted. We're much safer here, away from their schemes. Tars, you're going to get yourself killed. You don't deserve this. I've already given my life, but so too will my men if we do not escape immediately. Please, we must go to Centurion's Rest. And we'll save all over right ahead. With East Wall Fortress secured by Mem's army, General Antares retreats deeper within the forest to his stronghold at Centurion's Rest. Mem's first mission ends in victory. The Empire recognizes his promise as a commander and entrusts him to invade Centurion's Rest and destroy any rebel forces in the area. Despite zealous enthusiasm for victory in battle, the meaning of this rebellion begins to weigh on Mem's mind. These are not an invading force, they are common people, fellow Viridians. Perhaps if Antares is brought to heel, there could be a quick end to the violence. Okay. And now you get to see kind of the in-betweens. Where we're at here. And here's where we get into sports. So this is like, you can build up relationships. This is kind of the more of the visual novel stuff. You can see what your relationships are to people, family. Conversations. By having these conversations, you end up forming relationships. I'm just going to skip them. I don't really care, but we get rewards and we'll become friends, all that stuff. You can, by all means, pick up this game and find out how all these people, the random tidbits about them that make no difference to the grand scheme of things. Tech tree. Here we have 2 research points. You can see there's these things cost various different ones. I'm going to take, you can see like you got Spellweaver, Mentorship, Persia Envoy, Zones of Control, Battle Medics. These are all like Academy of War, Tactical Command, Army Stables. So you can get the charge attacks from your cavalry when you have them. Mixed Unit Tactic. You get +3 weapon power for each unit of a different type add to the squad. Command structure, things like that. So I'm going to do like Mixed Unit Tactic. Then I'm going to have them a lot. Adept Artificer unlocks a second artifact slot. Crossbow Forging, Metallurgy, Heavy Infantry and Heavy Cavalry get +25 max E. Steel Forging improves steel plate armor, grants our Heavy Infantry and Heavy Cavalry +5 armor. So Light Infantry, Journeyman Leathercraft, or Light Armor has advanced. So I might do Light Armor just because I have more of that at the very beginning. That's our 2 there. You can see we have 3 iron, and how many cavalry we have, horses we have, all that stuff, all our different resources there. And then this is before we rank up. So you can see the different chevrons for ranking up here. We got E6 XP out of 100. Do a rank up. And then you got a marketplace, and we can recruit more squads. Add, or more, not squads, but more units to add to our squads. Deal with different prices. Level 3 crossbowmen, level 5 archer. I think we'll definitely want to grab them. Learnable guerrilla, bowman, militia. I think we'll want militia. There's infinities and stuff which I haven't really gotten into. So it'll be assume that'll come into effect at some point later on down the line. Alright, and then so items we have Crusader's Mace. +7. I don't know if I want to sell that. That looks pretty good. That artifact, that is. What I'd like to do is organize our army. Let's do squad operations. Our squad here, we can manage where our units are and everything. Artifacts. let's grab the... I equip the Crusader's Mace? I guess I can't equip it for my... Well, maybe I can. There we go. What? Oh, here it is. Yeah, there we go. I had to click up here and then there you go. Alright. Cool. So that's good. So we have an artifact, which I did not get an artifact the first time through doing this, so that's the thing. And I want to move our healers back a little bit. They don't get quite as, hopefully don't get quite as damaged. I'm going to add a another fighter unit to the front line here. That's good. And I think we're good there for this particular unit. So nice. All right. Well, there we'll do squad operations. Jules, you need some protection. Okay. Let's add a... All I have are bowmans and crossbowmans. Whoops. Hang on a second. Let's go. Squad operations. Let's remove that unit. And let's add a crossbow right there. Or not crossbow, like a regular bowman. And then for Jules' squad here, so he's the weakest one. Add a... I mean, actually, I don't really shouldn't have. I should just keep him as a ranged thing, right? Let's see. Let's do Sybil's squad here. And we got Spearman. So if I add some... Oh wait, move you back here. And then I add a... Can't add any units to the civil squad. Is it you maxed out right now? Low infantry 5. Oh, capacity 40 or 42. And what does these say? Oh, capacity 10, capacity 12. Yeah, so she's got her squad is filled up. What's your capacity? 26 to 46. All right. So add unit. Another one there. Crossbowman. You're at 44, 46. Zelos. We'll add another guy to the front here. At 40 to 54. Okay. Good. Yeah, that seems good. The reason I didn't add more to his thing is because he's already like super charged, his squad. So cool. Okay, we did all that, and then deploy will just take us to the next mission here. And just a little spoiler: the next mission, you do hook up with some cavalry and stuff, and you can start to have some mounted units and things. But let's go save our game. We have hit the 30 minutes, my friends. But I think, despite not doing the second mission, I think you get the idea of what the game is going for. It's more of the same. And you know, with mounted units, you have units that move a lot faster. So you know, and there's synergies there. So obviously, you go up against some mounted units as well. That's where the spearmen come into play. If you use a spearman against the mounted units, you have an advantage. That kind of thing. So there is some tactical you know, some tactics to employ as you're playing the game and whatnot. So it's actually rather good, and it seems pretty deep here and there, but not so deep that you can't fathom what's going on. And obviously, there's some sort of affinities and stuff that I haven't even touched upon that we saw that were in the menus there. So you have all that. You have some relationship management to do. Obviously, morale is also a big deal. I'm sure that will become more of a big deal as you go along. Like when your forces suffer defeats, they suffer morale hits. You know, to make sure you're spreading the damage around, as it were, that kind of thing. So yeah, good stuff all around. I really think that they've done a really, really good job with this. A few nitpicks here and there, a few quality of life things here and there. But otherwise, it looks and feels pretty good, I would say. So, this has been Symphony of War and the Nephilim Saga. It is by Dancing Dragon Games and published by Freedom Games. It's currently fully released out on Steam for 20% off at $16 US, normally $20 US. As always, I will leave links down in the description so you can do your own due diligence. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time.